Once upon a time in the faraway land of Normal, I used to have an annual booth at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. This year would have been my 7th year, but no surprise to anyone, it was cancelled. Whimsical wildlife, funny-looking animals, or simply animals with personality. That's how I often describe my work. I could paint them realistically, but my mind's eye and imagination have always seen them as something more animated. While I enjoy painting the details in the fur, feathers, and features, the caricature aspect of my work is just as important. Something I hear often is, they look real, but cartoony. Some of my animals have more severe expressions, a couple are downright cranky, but the majority of mugs in my menagerie are smiling. Smiling's a fascinating expression. You needn't look hard to find studies that have shown the benefits. When a person smiles, it elevates mood, relieves stress, and releases hormones and endorphins that contribute to overall well-being. It even lowers blood pressure. When you see someone smiling at you, you'll most often smile back without even realizing it. It signals the brain that this is a positive space, you're safe, no threats here. Seeing someone smile makes us feel good. I don't think I saw it the first couple of years I had a booth at the expo. Chalk it up to the stress of the event, too focused on trying to make everything perfect, boosting sales, and not being in the moment. But at some point I realized that my art was making people smile. At first, I figured they just liked the work, and that was enough. But I wondered if there was something else going on. The personalities I paint into my animals make them a little anthropomorphic, which is just a $10 word that means they have human characteristics. I take liberties with the eyes, features, and expressions, which results in my signature style. Ever since I became aware of the phenomenon, I've seen it happen time and time again. A person rounds the corner, sees a couple of walls of smiling faces looking back at them from my booth. He or she will often slow, as if trying to figure out what they're looking at, and without even being aware of it, the corners of their mouths have turned up, their eyes have gotten a little narrower, and they're smiling. It has become my favorite thing about having a booth at the expo. At the risk of sounding arrogant, I've often seen that smile happen and thought to myself, I did that. You certainly don't need me to tell you that it's been a tough year. As a result of the pervasive uncertainty surrounding everything, people are more anxious, depressed, and afraid. It's difficult to plan beyond the next week because we don't know what that will look like. The search for meaning and purpose in life at the best of times makes so many of us miserable because I think our expectations are way too high. Speaking from experience, it feels like the endless quest for some grand epiphany, a light through the clouds, some guru on a mountain who will one day reveal the purpose. But a couple of months ago, on another trip down the rabbit hole of existential dread, something occurred to me. What if, right now, my purpose is to just make things a little easier for somebody else? That got me thinking about the smiling phenomenon, those free gifts of positive distraction at my booth at the expo. Most of those people didn't even see me standing there, their eyes instead focused on the grinning critters around me. My wife Shauna came up with a good line for that moment to invite people to have a closer look, one I've used often since. Come on in, they don't bite. Someone once said that talent is what we're born with, skill is what we do with it. There are a lot of talented people who've never explored their gifts or tried to realize their potential. There are plenty of reasons, from difficult circumstances to imposter syndrome. Who do you think you are to reach so high? Despite the challenges we all face this year, ones we most likely never anticipated, we're living at a time when there is more opportunity to develop our gifts than ever before. From an endless global archive of creative content to online schools with skilled teachers, when it comes to turning those talents into skills, so many barriers have vanished. The world has changed, and while frightening, some are seeing it as an opportunity to make some personal changes too. If you feel the yearning to create, the desire to fully unwrap your gifts and use them, there's no time like the present. There's a proverb that goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. When things seem pretty dark, when the world doesn't seem like a very nice place to be, we have an opportunity, each according to his or her gifts. It's in the giving of gifts where lies the greatest joy, the sharing of our creations with others, an opportunity to make someone smile when they really need it. You never know where it might lead, who you might reach, and what you might change. Find your gifts, then share them.